All right, we are here with Stanford head coach Jared Haase. Practice 14 is in the books. Key takeaways from today.
We did a little bit more full method, kind of scrimmaged a little bit, short segments, about 4-minute segments with officials, and was pleased. And I really probably can't answer the question until I go back and watch the tape, because we're really going to break it down and show the guys tomorrow any deficiencies we had. But offensively, I think was a little bit ahead of our defense. I love the way we moved the basketball. I love the way we talked. I love the guys adjusting to the officials and knowing that if they attack, good things are going to happen. So I thought the energy was fantastic, and again, offensively, I thought it was a little bit better than defense.
How quickly were the freshmen to adjust to the officiated?
Isaac's struggling because he still doesn't know what a one-on-one is, because in Australia they don't have that. So he's still learning exactly what a bonus is, and what a quarter is versus a nickel and a dime. So we're worried about those things probably more than anything else right now. But once he figures that out, the freshmen are fine. They've all played at a high level, and I think they're adjusting pretty well.
And so I kind of wanted to ask about the shooting. Obviously, the team is doing some extra shooting as we speak, and the national average on three-point shooting tends to be about 35%. And my question for you is, if you guys hit that or surpass it, what's that going to do for the offense, and how much is that the focus?
It's not the focus. It's a byproduct of what we're doing. I think the numbers should go up for our team this year for two reasons. One is I think the returning guys have worked on their shots and they're shooting it better. The incoming guys have ability to shoot the three. And then most of our threes are going to be step-in threes as opposed to on the move. And in general, guys that are just stepping in like that are going to have a better percentage. So for a variety of reasons, I think we can get better percentages, but it will play a big part of our success.
And you're talking about, when you say step in, you mean off the pass versus something they create on their own?
Yeah, so creating for a teammate, basically. Somebody else gets to the paint, and then you end up being wide open, and we hit the guy and just kind of step in and shoot.
Media day, you said that there were things that you hadn't even talked about with the team yet. You mentioned like multiple defenses, stuff that was just they had no clue about yet. How would you evaluate those layers that are being added on and how they're adapting?
It's slow, but it will pick up a lot this week. We introduced zone defense and offense this week, just the basics. But Saturday on into next week, things are going to start happening a lot faster. This week we've introduced a few more things in the offense, kind of in our man offense. And so I think the last couple of days, I think we've repeated them enough that there's a pretty good feel for it. But there's going to be a lot, this next couple of weeks, there's going to be a lot we throw at the guys.
So there have been a number of practices you guys have had now. I was wondering, who has consistently been the toughest guy to stop from scoring, and who's been the best at stopping the other guy from scoring?
Reed's just a monster, and we're putting him in more situations where, even out to the three-point line, where he's penetrating and not just a back-to-the-basket kind of guy, and he's been awfully tough to defend. Dorian's shooting the ball really well. On the defensive end, we're still figuring that out. I think the guy's intent is good. Dejan at times on a possession here or there can be a one-man wrecking crew. He can really defend the ball. KZ can really defend the ball. So one possession at a time, we have a lot of guys that are high level, but what we're looking for is the consistency on the defensive end, which we don't have yet.
And just going back to your comments on man offense, what do zone defenses try to get you into or get you to do, and what is your approach to attacking them?
Well, everybody's zone defense is a little bit different, but in general, you end up you have the ability usually easier to get threes, and if you settle for that, that tends to be a problem unless you're a big time shooting team. And so what we're doing with our man offense, I think, is going to help us with our zone offense as well. We're trying to put it on the floor and create for others, and those principles can be applied to man and zone.
And then just last thing for me, you know what they are: veteran of the day and newcomer of the day.
I thought you were going to say coach of the day, and I was going to nominate myself, but I'll hold off till next time.
Your assistants do the same.
Newcomer of the day, I thought Dejan was really good. I thought he had one of his better practices, and I really did some nice things. Veteran of the day, probably go with Reed, and as I'm trying to think through my mental notes if I would change that, but I thought those two were both really, really good.
Was there a play of the day?
Play of the day. Right at the end we had a scrimmage where it was kind of live scoring. scrimmage situation. One team made a really nice play where Josh Sarma slipped the ball screen, got a layup with 5 seconds left, put them up 2. And the other team, without coaching right now, really, we're trying to just let them play a little bit. Had the presence to get the ball out. Dejan went length of the floor, got all the way to the rim, and passed it off to Reed, who ended up getting a and one. So ended up winning the game with 5 seconds or less. And so love the fact that they had the presence of mind, no to attack, and didn't settle for a jump shot. I thought that was really good.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Okay.